Time to touch your neighbors. Hi, you're watching Two Dumb Guys. I'm Brian, and this is Ed.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I'm Johannes.
Okay. I'm going to call you Jay.
No, it's Johannes. Because I am old-timey.
Old-timey?
Yeah, like back in the day, way back in the day. For fun, I eat badly baked bread and
boiled bread.
Boiled bread.
Boiled
and
bread with prunes in it.
Dried meats because there's no refrigeration, and for entertainment, I can't play Tony Hawk 4.
Yeah.
I don't have a TV. Not Johannes.
Not
There's
Johannes.
people throwing pee out their windows into the streets. It's a horrible time. But you know what we do have for fun? We have parlor games.
Yes.
I'm not really Johannes, but I did find some parlor games, and I want to tell you about them.
Yeah. We can't play them because we don't have a parlor.
Well, we also can't play them because reasons that will become apparent as I discuss some of these games.
Okay.
But basically, I just want to tell you about them and get your reaction and ask you whether or not you would be interested in playing a game like this.
Okay.
So, first game, I got to ask you a question before I tell you is, why did the chicken cross the road?
Well, to get to the other side.
Yes, and that was the basis of the game, Cockaroosty.
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 Great name. Immediately want to play it, but let's find out what it entails.
So it's early 1800s for Cockaroosty, and the gist of this game, one kid was it. He was in the middle of the road, which is dangerous.
Yeah.
He stood in the middle of the road, and the other children would line up on the other side of the road. This wasn't really a parlor necessarily, but you could play it in a parlor if you wanted to. But typically it's outside. Other kids line on the side of the road. That's their den.
Yes.
But their home is on the other side, so they got to cross the road.
Okay.
And the goal was one at a time, the kids had to run across the road and avoid getting caught by it. But there was a catch, because that would be too fucking easy.
Yeah, it's kind of a Red Rover type thing, but yeah.
Yeah. The catch was everybody had to be hopping on one leg. So you could only hop on one leg, and I think the it kid could only hop on one leg too.
Okay.
So basically you just got a bunch of childrens bouncing around on one leg trying to cross the road, which again, dangerous.
Yeah, dangerous. And, I would fall down, and I don't want to have to go get teeth replaced.
Because you probably would.
Yeah.
And there, and we're talking old timey roads too. So there's rocks in there.
Yeah,
you're done.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it might just be a dirt road, and that might not be too bad. If it had rained and it was a little moist and muddy,
it's nice and pillowy.
Yeah,
when you fall down,
I could do it. I'm not doing it out in the actual street, even though we live on a slower street, and we could do that without it being too dangerous. But yeah, I have terrible balance, and I would so injure myself. I can't ride a bike. I can't hop across the street on one foot. I could, but I
could do it.
I'd hurt myself.
I wouldn't do it, but I could. Next game was called Honey Pots. This was also the 1800s, and this one, I don't understand it.
Okay, does it have anything to do with the slang use of the term honey pot?
No, it does not. That was my initial thought as well. Because that would be a cool game.
Yeah, whatever that game is, I want to play that.
We should invent that game.
Yeah.
We're going to invent new parlor games. No, this one was... You remember playing Crack the Egg on a trampoline when you were a kid?
No.
You didn't play Crack the Egg?
I don't think so. We played a lot of trampoline games. Is it just you trying to
Well, Crack the Egg was you would pull your knees up to your chest and wrap your arms around them, and then all the other kids would jump on the trampoline and try to get you to break.
Oh, okay.
So you just flopped around. But the only reason I brought that up is because that's the position you assume when you play honey pots.
Okay.
I don't know why this is a game. I seriously don't. One person pulls their knees to their chest and wraps around it, and the other players pick them up and carry them as if they were a pot of honey being brought home from market.
How does scoring work? How do you win? What do you do? Is it just
nope, that's it.
Let's pick each other up and
that's it. I'm guessing maybe a feat of strength. Can I lift him?
This isn't a game. It's a workout program.
Yeah.
It's like honeypot calisthenics.
Dude. We're going to convert some of these old school parlor games into exercises and open a gym. That shit catch on, man.
Well, I'm totally in favor of doing like a ridiculous exercise video and putting honey pots in it. just because the name's going to make people laugh.
Yeah, because the next one could work too. Mold my cockle bread.
Mold my cockle bread. The Brian Garrett story.
John Aubrey.
Of course.
He described it as a, quote, wanton sport. And this is apparently something like young ladies played back in the day. And his exact explanation of it is that the young ladies would, quote, get upon a table board and then gather up their knees and coats with their hands as high as they can and then wobble to and fro with their buttocks as if they were kneading of dough with their arses.
Again, this is another workout program.
So yeah, you basically get up like this.
Your knees and coats, and I'm assuming like petticoats.
Yeah, you grab behind your knees and then you gotta just like waddle back and forth on this board with your butt. There was a song, but I don't know the melody for it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to sing it. But the lyrics to the rhyme was, my dame is sick and gone to bed, and I'll go mold my cockle bread. Up with my heels and down with my head. This is the way to mold cockle bread.
What is cockle bread?
I don't know. This is from the 1600s. I have no clue what this is. But I think it would be hilarious for the viewers to see us lift our legs as high in the air as we can and try to wobble back and forth on a board on our buttocks.
We're going to have to do some squats and get some, because I don't have much of a butt to begin with.
You're going to need some serious glute strength.
Yeah, and no matter how I sit, just even doing sit-ups, like my tailbone's just like poking into the floor already. It's I think it's misaligned as part of it. But I can see, food prep in the 1600s is terrible. That's horrifying. Non-stop horror show.
If they're actually molding bread with their asses.
Yeah. This bread was molded by only cockle bread molded by the asses of upper class British women.
Yeah.
You know. That's living fancy. I'm living my best life eating this ass bread.
Now the next one I really want to play.
Okay.
But we can't play it.
All right.
This ran between the 1500s and the 1800s. It's a game called Snapdragon. Have you ever heard of Snapdragon?
No.
The way you play Snapdragon is you take a bowl, and into that bowl, you deposit a single raisin, and then you fill that bowl with brandy, and then you light that brandy on fire. And the goal of the game is to remove the raisin.
With, like, your hand?
Yes. You just like grab into a flaming bowl of brandy trying to pick out a raisin. So it's like bobbing for apples on a whole new level.
Yeah.
It's like we're introducing danger into apple bobbing. This could also be a sport, although we just flip the script and make it bobbing for apples.
Yeah. The problem with it's not just that you're burning yourself, it's that reaching in and reaching out real quick, you're knocking it over.
Yeah, you're going to throw fire across the room.
You're going to, the whole table. This is how like fire started in Europe in the 1600s or whenever this was.
Yeah, that's why we can't play this game.
So many homes, it's, another home claimed by a game of Snapdragon gone awry.
I want to play the next one, though.
Okay.
Really bad. It's called Bullet Pudding.
Bullet Pudding?
Yeah.
I really like I like the name. I'm in favor of the name. What is it?
Okay, so Bullet Pudding is like this. You take flour, and you mold the flour into a giant cone about 2 feet tall. Players take turns poking the flour, causing little flour avalanches. It's going to cave in on itself. So it's kind of like Jenga. It's going to cave in on itself. And when it does, it buries the bullet. At that point, the person...
There's a bullet?
Yeah. My bad. I forgot. You put a bullet on top.
Okay.
And then you poke it. And eventually, it's going to bury the bullet because of the avalanche. And the person who buries the bullet, they then have to slam their face into the pile of flour and try to remove the bullet with their teeth. Dude, that would be so fun. We would have flour all over ourselves. Then we'd have to buy enough flour to stack flour up into like a 2-foot high cone.
Yeah. Well, that wouldn't be that bad. Flour's not expensive, and we don't have to get like the good quality stuff. I do say, we won't use a bullet. We'll use like a ball bearing or something, or maybe something with weight that's not going to hurt our teeth.
No, we're going to use a bullet.
No,
just a hunk of lead. The bellman.
The bellman.
Yeah, you thought about that?
Is it kind of like a bellhop? No, does it have anything to do with like a bell ringer?
It does have to do with the bell ringing.
Okay. So, here's my guess. I'm just going to guess at this.
You have a guess?
Yeah. One person hangs from the ceiling, like either by their hands or a noose. Maybe they're dead. And it's kind of like a human piñata.
Okay.
That's my guess. You just beat them until they cry.
Yeah, no. I wish. This is actually the last one I have, too. So okay. I'll go into it for a second here. One person gets a bell.
Okay.
And everybody else in the room blindfolds themselves. And the bellman sneaks around the room very quietly, take his shoes and socks off so they can't hear you, and it periodically rings the bell. And then they have to, get the bellman. So you got a room full of blindfolded people running toward, trying to echolocate this bellman, running toward the sound. I mean, this is just, it's dangerous again, because it's going to turn into a mosh pit.
I feel like if you take some safety precautions so that nobody's getting, poked or jabbed or there's going to be, inappropriate touching. It's going to be like a drunken game of Twister.
Well,
yeah. Someone's going to get touched in a way that they're not happy about. It's what's going to happen. I mean...
You grazed my left testicle. My left stickle.
Your
left stickle. Left stickle.
Left stickle.
Very difficult to say left stickle.
The left stickle is greater than the right stickle.
Yeah, usually because it's lower.
Yeah.
That's because it's heavier. That's what makes you walk with a limp.
Yeah. Is it now? Are left-handed dudes?
I don't know. I've had this question, and I've been meaning to ask Josh because he's the only left-handed person I know personally who I know well enough to where I can say, "Yo, man, which one of your nuts hang lower?"
All right, yeah, because we're both righties, and I think more people are righties than lefties. And generally, the left testicle hangs lower. So if you're a left-handed person and you have testicles, 2 of them, let us know which one of yours hangs lower, because that's something I want to know about. I want to see scientific studies, because sometimes when you do things with your left side of your body and your right arm, because when you walk, your left leg and your right arm go out at the same time.
Yeah.
So is it a thing that happens because you favor your right arm, so it causes some effect on this side of the body that makes your left nut? I'm serious. I'm taking a scientific approach to it.
This is I mean, I guess it's a thought experiment for that.
Does it affect how low that testicle hangs?
I have no idea. The bellman has prompted a very interesting little side discussion.
Yeah.
But
back to the bellman. I think the bellman should be played at a sex party.
Maybe. But I saw an advertisement for it, like an actual newspaper ad about it, and it was the new American Parlor game, right? And there was one bit, and I'm going to close on this. This bit was
touch your friend's wife inappropriately and get away with it.
This was literally in the ad as a way of selling the bellman. Growing children need it, not only for harmless amusement, but to better develop their bodies. Older people for social entertainment and as a means of retaining their youth. Really? Is that going to help you retain your youth? Just knocking about with a bunch of other olds?
Cup in a field keeps you young.
Thanks for watching, I guess. Yeah, that sounds right.
Time to touch your neighbors. Links, links, links. All you gotta do is click.
How about this one? Or that one? Click them.